is up, everybody? This is Gordon, or G here if you prefer, with the 70-pound weights for the second week in a row. 2 weeks before this, to get to where I was pretty confident in the 4x8 of the 70-pound dumbbells, I actually did a pyramid PR with 8 reps of the 70s, and then up to a 5x5. I did a 20-pound jump of the 80s, and then I went back down to 7 to 8 reps of the 70s, and then another set of 7 to 8 reps of the 70s. So we're almost to the third set here. On the second set today, the week before this, I wasn't recording and I wasn't as anxious, and I had my music in. And with my music in, I'm a lot more focused and I'm a lot more on pace. I usually go to the pace of songs with a little bit longer rests in between my sets. But this week I did, on my second set, miss a rep, and I know that I miscounted a rep because here, coming into the third set, you're going to see we do get up to 8 reps again. This week was a little bit more difficult without my headphones in. Without my headphones in, it was a softer gym playlist on today, and it was a little bit harder to get in my groove, get to where I could fight through myself a little bit and get all these reps in. So I know a lot of guys don't like to take longer rests in between their sets, and so today I actually am showing you that I cut down the rest time in between sets from 3 to 4 minutes to 2 to 3 minutes, or 1 minute and 30 seconds to 2 minutes, because I like to get in the reps. I find that if I take longer rests in between my sets and I can still get my reps, that's what I'm going to go for. And that's what I'm going to go for every time. I primarily focus on strength training, and I have a specific type of strength training that I've been working my way into, where I will get the strength up with 4 sets of 6 reps at a heavy weight, and then slowly add in reps until we hit an Arnold style of work for size, where it's 4x8s. The goal here actually is to get to a 4x8 of the 80-pound dumbbells, and then drop it back down to a 4x10 of the 70-pound dumbbells, which is what I'm at right now. The best way I've found to do this is to break down the last set if I need to. Cut the last set in half, which you're actually going to see here today. I wasn't feeling it as much, mostly because I was off pace with my music and because I was moving along at a quicker pace, because I don't want this video to be too long with the shorter rests. So on this third set, I actually felt my chest burn out on the last rep, on the 8th rep, and I gave myself a little bit longer rests towards the last set to get in the reps, if I can get in the reps, because I don't like to leave the reps on the table. Getting the reps in is how you're going to build strength, is how you're going to build size. It's better than not doing them. But this last rest is about 3 to 4 minutes, and it's just to make sure I have as much power as I can going into the final set. I was pretty confident in this weight this week, so next week will most likely be a weight increase from the 70s to the 75s, and then the first 3 sets will be aiming for 8 reps, and it'll just be 3 sets of 8 reps at the 75s to get used to that weight, and then the last set will be broken down from either 2 sets of 4 or a set of 6, and then a set of 2, like you're going to see here in a second. last weigh-in was at 151 pounds, so this is about 151 pounds. I would recommend just proportioning whatever your weight is to these weights and then aim for about this. I'm pretty strong, but I think anyone is capable of doing something like this. This is only 2 days a week in the gym. I've done 4 days a week in the gym, and I do find I'm stronger with 4 days a week in the gym, but with work and adult life, I don't have time right now. I also don't have things like a spotter, so I can't do things like barbell. I feel much more comfortable with the dumbbells when I'm on my own. You're gonna see here a lot of laying on the bench. This is to make sure that my back stays flat and to help with my posture. I like to stand up as straight as I can. So laying flat makes it so your chest can't be rolled forward and I'm not hunching over in the chair while I'm resting in between sets. So here I'm just waiting for this guy, making sure my camera doesn't get hit. And here you're going to see I like to take 3 big deep breaths down into my diaphragm before starting the lift. And then on the 4th breath, I breathe in and hold it and go. And I use the pressure to push, essentially. And I do breathe while I'm down there. But I like to go quick. I don't like to go too slow and get the reps in. I do aim for touching my chest, as you can see, and going below the line. There's the give. There's the failure on that rep. I show myself here that I need 2 more. So this is the part that is really important to me, is that if you're a serious lifter, you don't give up, you don't stop here. Some people will leave these reps on the table, and that's why they're not going to improve. If you can go back for another set of 2 or 2 more sets of 2, which I didn't really have time for, that's what's going to cause improvement. That's what's going to, when you get your calories in, give you that soreness and give you that size increase, even if you didn't get them all at once. I also like to chew. Some people use a mouth guard to bite down on while they're working out. I just use gum, and I bite down on a large piece of gum. It also helps me breathe. The mint helps, I find, just have a nice cool airflow. The increase in speed here for the workout today, because I don't have my music in and recording, is making me a little nauseous too, but I keep it down. I push past through that. Here's my 3 big breaths for this final set. And there's 1, 2, and I go for the 3rd here. I do fail on it, and that's why I don't feel bad about missing the rep in one of the sets, because I always go for an extra one, and it would have just been failure on 32. And if I had more time or a spotter, I probably would have gotten that last rep with the spotter. Alright, so here you can see me pulling out the 55s. It's a 15-pound decrease in each arm, but after 4 sets, my arms and triceps are so blown out that this is the most weight I can do for flat. I used to not have to drop it down as much when I was younger, when I was 20, 21, 22, 23. And in between these 2 chest exercises, I usually like, because they're so heavy, I like a big rest in between these. I like 5 to 10 minutes of rest for my arms in between these. I just find that extra rest really helps for recovery and get my sets in. Here you actually saw me only do 7 reps for the first set, and this is why I find this. If I go into the next exercise too quickly, I lose reps, and I don't like losing reps. I don't like leaving reps on the table. In the next couple sets, you will see me hit 8 every time for flat on the 55s, and you'll see them go up easier because my body gets the extra rest that it needed. I didn't rest. I was trying to not take up too much time on this bench, and so I didn't get all the rest I needed in, and then I got some extra recovery in between that set and this next set, and that was what I needed to recover and get all my reps in. And so here, this is another exercise that I've come up with on my own, where I had a lot of burning pain in my forearms one day, and I started playing with a 5-pound weight just to see what the 5-pound weight felt like. And I wanted to see what my arm felt like against gravity after doing these really heavy chest exercises. How much my arm was actually working. So I started doing these high repetition arm movements in between while I'm resting as a small superset. And I started adding in weight with them because with such a heavy compound chest exercise and the shoulders getting so heavily worked, this at 30 reps feels a lot heavier than 10 pounds. And against gravity is really what you want to see how hard your arm has been worked. I know how hard my arm has been worked every time I go in here because I'm doing a very, very low weight, high repetition movement against a very, very high weight, lower repetition movement. And so my arm knows it's worked. My arm knows, oh, that's 5 pounds. That's what lifting 5 pounds feels like right now. Another reason that exercise is supersetted in here with the chest is to work the small back delt and make sure my posture stays strong and that my back stays pulled back and that my shoulders don't roll forward, because when you're doing so much chest work to get the arms and chest really big, you don't want to have your shoulders roll forward. You want nice posture, you want your neck stretched, which is what you can see me doing here. The chest exercises will also tighten your neck. If you're straining too difficult, the front of your neck will strain and tighten, and the muscles in the front of your neck will strain and tighten. This is something you don't want. You're going to see a couple stretches here that I do in between. This is me trying to get into the playlists and the music today. Normally I'm bopping along to my own music and there's no issue. So this is me shaking myself off. This is me shaking off that I don't want to do it. This is me versus me in there. And me versus me is a lot tougher than people might think. I have to push through pretty hard some of the time. Alright, but here we go. And you're going to see these 8 reps go up easy for the 55s. As far as increases go, if I increase to the 75s next week, I would not increase here at the 55s. I think that's too much volume to increase all at once. Alright, so here you see some more of the stretching that I do in between my sets. I like to stretch out my back for the next day because I don't have that much time to work out like some people do. I have a day job, I have things that I have to get done, all of this is self-funded, and so I have to get this stretching done in between my big lifts and my workouts and things like that. So it might look a little silly to some of the trainers here. You saw one of the biggest trainers walk through the video just a moment ago. He's helped me with some stuff, not too much. I want to see his workout and steal some from his workout. I'm sure a lot of the trainers there think I'm going too heavy, but I've been working out on and off for 10 years at this point, so these weights still aren't that heavy to me with the PR. And I can't recommend the 5 rep PR enough for jumping in weight. I don't like the 1 rep PR as much for jumping in weight. I think that is something that should be used very, very rarely, but a 5 rep PR is very different and can be used much, much more often. And you're gonna see me looking in both mirrors a lot of the time. I'm looking in this other mirror to make sure that, once again, my posture is good. My arms are aligned while I'm doing the low repetition, or the low weight, high repetition movement. So these are my main 2 movements of the workout. This is where most of the heavy work is done. There is still workout after this. After a very long rest of 15 to 20 minutes, we go into a second phase of accessory movements that usually are at higher repetition and lower weight. And as we're moving into the summer, for photos, I'm going to be working up here's me stretching my neck again, but I'm going to be working up the repetitions and bringing the weight a little bit lower. So if I can't get up to the 80s, you're going to see me at like 65s, aiming for 10 reps, up to 15 reps of things, 60s at 15 reps for my weight. Shoulder presses, 15 to 20 at 30 to 35 pounds. Just toning, and that's going to tone more. It's going to tone more, it might add more pump and more size. We're gonna see. We're gonna find out by summer. We're almost at the end of January here. It's the 26th, and the bulk, because of how quickly I can lean down and how much weight I can lose actually very quickly with dropping calories with things like Kinobody and intermittent fasting, end of February at soonest is when I would start really leaning down, because I'm already pretty lean here, and I did a really clean bulk this year, up to 150 pounds. The goal would really only be ever 155 to 160 very lean, and of muscle, 155, 160 of muscle, and then almost tripped there. And then I would add just a nice layer of fat onto that, because I don't need to be the leanest guy in the gym. I actually don't like being too lean. I get skull-faced that way. So I'm already a little skull-faced here. I do like barbell, and I do miss barbell on a spotter sometimes, but the strength doesn't really translate the same way. I also find I get a lot more definition in my chest with the dumbbells as opposed to the barbell. I used to do barbell all the time. I used to be very into barbell, very into squats. I don't like loading my back as much anymore with the squats. So I like front squats now. Saves my back. If I save my back, I can still do my heavy bench exercises. I like the deadlift still. I like the barbell deadlift still. So that's one of the only barbell movements I've kept. I do have another video coming soon that is going to show my 80-pound PR for the 5x5 and the little pyramid I did with that 2 weeks prior to this to get the strength up. Once again, I'm so tired here, I could have left this weight on the table. I've dropped it down to the 5 pounds at this point. I think I went from the 10 pounds at 30 reps to the 10 pounds at 20 reps. And then I dropped the weight down to 5 pounds in my hand and went back up to 30 reps here. But at this point of the workout, I'm hella tired. I need water, I need rest. I actually go and stretch my chest after this and kind of just lay on a yoga mat. Let gravity do a lot of the work. Almost like Goku passing out after his workout. Alright, so I hope you all have enjoyed. I hope this has been motivational. I hope this has been helpful. And remember to leave a like.